Hello and welcome to TVC News at 10, the edition which features flashback. We begin first this hour with the President Bola Tinubu's appeal for an equitable access to capital for developing countries to provide the much-needed resources for development and solve some of the most pressing challenges in the world. The President made his position known at the 19th Summit of Heads of State and Government of the Non-Aligned Movement at the weekend in Kampala, Uganda, where he was represented by the Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, Equitable. He, however, pointed out that the developing world is not looking for sympathy or begging, but fair and equal opportunity. Well, this year's summit was chaired by Ugandan President Yoweri Museveni and was attended by many presidents and heads of government.
To move forward decisively, access to finance and technology is critical. It is necessary that climate financing be tracked with the same diligence as climate mitigation. We urge non-aligned movement to work in collaboration with the United Nations and the need to stress the need for the developed countries to provide climate financing of $1 trillion and others to fulfill their promise of $100 billion annual commitment to climate finance to developing countries. In today's world of immense challenges, international efforts in the maintenance of global peace and security must be inclusive. The process of bringing about peace must entail the provision of humanitarian and emergency assistance, and as well as equitable access to capital.
And for more on this, I'm being joined by a State House correspondent, Femi Akonde. Femi, now let's quickly get the reactions of countries reacting to the President's call for fair access to capital. And are there any specific examples to how countries are making strides to, managing their available resources? What are you getting and what are you hearing?
Well, President Bola Tinubu's message, as conveyed by the Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, Equitable, is not different from what President Bola Tinubu, the message he took to Paris at the new Global Financial Pact Summit in June last year, where they called for a new financial world order where some of the disadvantaged countries or some of these countries who largely are in the non-aligned movement, global non-aligned movement, usually do not have access to resources, and but the bigger countries who largely do not need some of these resources and are self-sustaining on their own are the ones with greater access, leaving poor countries, shutting them out of it, just like what happened during the COVID-19 vaccine distribution and all of that, how the big countries monopolized it. And these are the things President Bola Tinubu is advocating, using all of these platforms like the non-aligned movement to push for that new order where the poorer countries who, in some cases, when it comes to climate change, are not responsible for a large percentage of the global warming we have today. They pay or bear more of the consequence of all of the actions of these developed and aligned countries, as you may want to put it. So it's all of this that the President is trying to push using this platform of the non-aligned movement.
Yeah, indeed. And talking about the non-aligned movement, how is the body now, how's the group now leveraging on its diversity now to influence global conversations and, of course, actions related to climate finance, which also has to be a major discourse at the summit?
Well, it's a country made up of, it's a body made up of 120 countries globally. That's about 4.4 of the world's population belong to countries in the non-aligned movement, and that's about 55% of the world's population. So what they are trying to leverage on now is the strength of numbers and more opportunities where they can speak up, have their voices heard, and advocate for this change, this reordering of the global financial order and the pact that the non-aligned and the developing and underdeveloped countries have with some of these big economies, the countries whose whose gross domestic product is.
All right, our correspondent live for us from Abuja.